Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at a company that can provide you everything you're going to need for your bread making needs, and that is Joseph's Kitchen. Let's check them out. All right, folks, welcome back. So today we have a farm-to-table alternative for making your own healthy homemade bread. Okay, they've taken it back to the basics with the wheat berries paired with the real ingredients that have been tested and proven to work making bread. And I'll tell you right now, we already did this. Here's the bread I made. Of course, I've eaten some of it, but here's the bread I made previously using this kit. This stuff is really awesome, and if you're new to grinding wheat berries and making your own bread from scratch, this is the way to go. Now, there are tons of other little kits on the website. There's kits for 6 people for a year, 2 people for a year, 1 people for a year. You can buy the wheat individually. It's really, really good stuff. You can also buy the machine package. As you see here, it comes with all those machines, the Wonder Mill grinder, the Saki bread machine. So definitely a cool little kit. You can kind of see it up top here. That's my little bread cutter that came with it as well. They're also adding 4 spreadable honeys to the website and hand grinders. So if you don't want to use the grinder and you want an alternative to using electricity, you can use the hand grinders. However, they have spec'd these things out, so they will work with any solar generator that's 1,000 watts. I know the bread machine does around 800-ish. That does about 4 in the back. So you're good to go on that if you do have a power station or a solar generator that will do that for you. Now, not only do they sell you the stuff, but they have a full range of videos online to show you how to make the bread, how to do the grinding. Really, really simple. Lots of instructions. So if you're new to this, and believe me, I've never made bread from wheat berries. I've never done it, and you see right there, I was able to do it no problem. Only takes a few minutes. Basically, you're going to just mix some stuff together, push a button, come back in 2 hours and 20 minutes, and you got homemade loaf of wheat bread in your bread machine right there. A couple of important points about Joseph's Kitchen. They nitrogen pack all their pails, so they eliminate any oil or moisture from long-term storage, okay? No one else does that on the market. For the most cost-effective calories per dollar, this thing right here will give you a whole lot of calories per dollar. Now, all of their pails you see over here are custom made. They can't be purchased anywhere else. The top part of the pails here have a zip release, so when you want to reapply the lid on most pails, you don't have to take the lid off and it won't be damaged. One of the things I did, and I have other pails that I got the wheat from, is I opened them up from the top here and just tipped in how much I needed. That made it so much easier. I didn't have to open the pail and mess with the integrity of it. So they do work very, very well. Also, another thing I like with these particular pails is they're a little bit squatty and a little bit lower, so they're easier to carry. They're about 50 pounds each, 46 pounds or so. I don't know, 52 pounds, I forget. So, but with the lower kind of squatter, wider base, they stack better and they're easier to carry around. Now, the wheat is triple cleaned and washed to eliminate any types of debris, bugs, or anything when it's harvested. It's straight from the farm to your table for nice, long, healthy shelf life, okay? The oil is first pressed back there. It's barely back there. You'll see it when we bake the bread. They use olive oil. It's first pressed non-GMO from Greece. They have a nice higher quality. They have very long-term storage on that olive oil. And when I first discovered them, I looked them up. They have tons of 5-star reviews. Folks, this is the kit for you if you've never made bread yourself and you're thinking about storing wheat and wheat berries. One of the advantages of storing wheat berries is they last a whole lot longer than flour does. You can put them in there, and in 20 years, I can come back and use them, and they're ready to go. So definitely a good thing to do. Now, a lot of people ask me, do wheat berries spoil? That's a question I've gotten, and before I did this video, I had no idea, all right? The most common way to tell if they've gone bad is to just use your senses. You'll notice once the fresh grains have changed in color, texture, odor, maybe you know they've gone bad, but they ship these things in thick plastic bags to protect from moisture, bugs, and oxygen. Okay, these are triple washed and cleaned. Everything in there is triple washed and cleaned, so you don't have to worry about any kind of bugs or anything like that. Now, their most popular package is the 2 people for 1 year, okay? And the machine package as well. We're going to get into that a little bit. I want to get the buckets off the counter here so I can kind of show you the machines and show you what comes in the machine package. And then we're actually going to make up some bread here. I'm going to try to do it as quick as possible because I don't want to keep you guys here for 2.5 hours making bread. So I'm going to get everything ready ahead of time. But first, I want to show you the machines a little bit better because these guys are kind of taking up all the space on the counter. All right, really quickly, I want to run over the machines with you and some of the stuff you're going to get in the kit. It was hard to see it with the buckets up here, and I only have so much room on this table. We got the sake bread machine. This is going to be a little imposing when you first open it up. There's some programming to do. You can program this thing. It's super diverse. You can make pasta, pizza dough, everything in this machine, as well as bake bread. But here's the deal. You're going to be able to do this very, very simply. You're just going to go to that menu down here, number 12, set your settings up that they'll give you when you order this, okay, to make your first loaf of bread. And then you can experiment from there. There's also a book of recipes with it. There's also support from the company themselves. They will help you out with anything. They have a bunch of videos up on YouTube already to show you how to program it and set it up. Very, very simple. It does kind of seem imposing if you're not used to gadgets and computers and stuff when you first turn this thing on, but it's really, really simple and very easy. I did notice that when I got into mode 12, one of the things that I didn't see in the manual was you had another button to push, and we'll show you that when we get into it. And I kind of figured that out on my own. So really, you're not going to have any kind of problem with the bread machine. It's very easy to use. Of course, next up, the Wonder Mill, and we are going to be grinding up some fresh wheat berries with it today. Also, too, they send you real glass. I was like shocked. They sent me glass containers to measure stuff out. You're going to have a thermometer here to measure the temperature of your water. Remember, you want your water around 100 to 120. I can get that out of my tap, no problem. You're going to mix everything together. They're going to give you basic ingredients to get started. Your real salt, your less than, measuring cup, your tablespoon and teaspoon, the real, raw, unfiltered honey. This is real stuff. This isn't the sugary stuff that comes in a little teddy bear jar. And of course, your olive oil to make your bread. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set everything up, and we're going to get ready to mix everything together, and I'll show you how simple this is. The most time that's spent for me is going to be gathering the ingredients. Honestly, it's very, very easy to do. So let's get it all set up. I'll bring you back when we're ready, and we'll pour our ingredients in and start the process. All right, so I've got the recipe here. I just want to show it to you really quick. And this is just a basic bread recipe. This is what I started with. And it calls for 3 cups of the hard red wheat berries and then 1 cup of the white wheat berries. We're going to mill them in here. You want to put them in here first, and you'll hear it grinding. You'll hear it slow down. Once you hear it pick up speed and running a little cleaner, you'll know all your stuff is done. Plus, you'll be able to see it going down in here. So we got our 4 cups of everything total here. And we're just going to pour that in and fire it up. It's going to be loud, so be ready. Although not too bad. And we're just going to let that go down. And next I'll show you what it looks like when we get it in there. You may have to kind of push it down a little bit. When we get it in here, it'll be flour. It'll be a little denser than normal flour, but it will be flour, and you'll be ready to use it. So let me let this finish, and I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like when it's done. Now, I did make a little bit of a mistake in shooting that. You are supposed to turn this on before you fill it. My bad, but it worked. So let's go see what we got. And again, this is just a pressure fit tube here in between. We're going to unhook that, and already you're seeing some flour. It'll be a little warm too. There we go. So there it is. Now it's going to be a little denser and a little coarser than, say, store-bought flour, but that's all that freshness inside there ready to go. So next up, we're going to get our other ingredients ready. We're going to mix it all together in the bread machine, and we're going to make some bread. All right, so before we start, we're going to show you this really quickly, how to program this. You're going to want setting number 12. So you're going to push this and get to 12. Okay, this button here. Then this is the button that faked me out. You have to hit that, okay, to change your first setting. So your first setting on this is going to be your knead time, and you want that to be 20 minutes. So we're going to go back down. The rest are already set up here. And then that's your, knead rest 1. And you'll go through all the things here. And then there's a knead, and they'll show you how to set this up. So we'll go through here. 15, yeah, it's all still in memory. Where are we at? 0, 0. And there's a bunch of extra rise times in there that you don't need. Then you'll set bake for 45 minutes. And then you have it, you can keep it warm, which we chose not to do. So we're pretty much ready to go here. Now we're going back to our recipe here. Now, let me show you what we need. Let me move this over a little bit. Of course, we have our wheat. Let me get all this out of the way. You're going to need water, which I'll go get in a second. You got the honey, salt, your eggs, and your olive oil, and your yeast, and your lecithin, which I have in this little tiny thing here. So let me go get water. Remember, you want the water to be warm. You're going to need, it's really weird. It's 1.5 cups of water plus 1 tablespoon of hot water. They say approximately 130. By the time you put on all the other ingredients, it's going to drop it a little bit. As long as it's over about 100, 110, you're good. Then you're going to mix it together, put that in. So let me get the water first, and I'll bring you back. Now, I can get water that hot out of my tap, so it's really no big deal. If I set it all the way, I'll get it. So I'll be right back with the water, and we got a thermometer to test it out with. All right, so this is about, what am I showing here? About 120. It came out of the tap at 130, so we're doing good there. Now we're going to put the salt in. This is an interesting little thing that I never really have noticed before. We're going to put our pink Himalayan salt in here, and we're going to stir it up. I'm just going to use this to stir it up. Okay, you could probably use something else. I might have a thing out here. We're just going to let that sit. What you want to do is let the salt get absorbed into the water, but you don't want all that sediment on the bottom. So I'm going to stir it around a little bit. That sand left on the bottom is what you want to avoid. Then we're going to pour it in here, dump in all our ingredients, dump in our stuff, and get going. All right, now this is the part where I got to kind of move quick because I still want it to be warm. You see the undissolved stuff on the bottom. We're going to pour that in here. And we're just going to add everything else except for the yeast. We're going to leave that salt on the bottom there. See? Like that. Okay. And now, I'm going to put this all together in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it right in the pan. Okay. Up we go. Now the pan is already installed in the bread machine. Okay. It just snaps into place like most common bread machines. I'm going to move you over so you can see what it looks like while we're dumping everything in there. We're dumping everything in the large beaker here. Okay, there's your honey. Here's your oil. It's off camera, but everything's getting dumped in there. And your 2 eggs. Okay. And there you go. The honey will have to be pushed out of there by my finger. Anyway, now we're going to put in this into the bottom here. And we're going to pour the yeast on top of it. I'm not even going to mix it up. We're just going to pour it in there. And I'm going to let all that settle. Let me pick you up and let you look in there quickly, if you can see it. Okay. We're going to dump the yeast on top of that. Just sprinkle it on top evenly. You're going to put all of your fresh milled flour in there as neatly as you can. I'm trying not to spill it because I'm doing this kind of backhanded with the camera on it. And on top of this, I'm going to take the little bit of leftover that didn't fully get out of there. There's a little bit left over. And I'm going to pour my lecithin on there too, on the top. And that I'm going to have to get out with my finger because I can see it doesn't want to come out. Actually, I'll use the thermometer. Hang on one sec. There we go. Pour that right out. And drop it in there. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but remember, folks, this is the second loaf of bread I've ever made. I've made them in bread machines before, but from scratch using fresh ingredients. So there we go. Now, really all that's left here is to fire the bread machine up. Get the rest of this out of there. And head on out and see what we get. Okay, that's good enough. We're going to close it. I'm going to back the camera up a little bit again. It's backed up. I'm going to hit the start button. And that is it. And it will now move around in there. You'll see these little, they give you some extras of these little things move around. So basically what we do now is come back in 2 hours and 20 minutes and see what we've created. So I'm going to go inside. I'm going to let this thing work on its own, clean up my mess out here, and bring you back in 2 hours and 20 minutes to see what we've created. All right, it just turned off literally just a second ago. We are all done. I'm going to open it up, let you see inside. Ooh, that's warm in there. I'm going to go get a glove here and pull it out And we're going to chop off a piece and let you see what it's like. By the way, over here is their bread slicer. I just wanted to show you that. I'm not slicing this one up yet, but this is how it works. You'll put it in here. They even give you a serrated knife with it, and you'll just cut through, straight through. Now, they do have a new version of this on their website. So when you go there, you can check it out and see they'll have a brand new version of it, but it'll also be this one available as well. And this is very easy to do. You just pull this piece out and they fold flat. But what I want to do is get that out of there and show you what it looks like now that it's done. All right, so you're just going to pull this thing out, and I do have these gloves on, so make sure you don't do that while it's hot with your bare hands. Now I'm going to tip this over, and again, this is going to be very hot. And basically bang it and let this piece come out in here. Now, the last time I did this, before I did the video on it, it came right out right away. Watch it take forever today. We'll go give it a try. See how it works, okay? Ah, look at that. Right out. Perfect. It did eat one of my little fins in there, so I will have to fish that out of the bottom of the loaf. But there you go. And that thing is nice and hot, really fresh. I'm going to grab a little end here to show you what it looks like. Okay, we're just going to cut a piece right off here. And there you go. Look at that steam coming off it. Look at that. You really can't beat it. So there are tons of popular kits that he has. Like I said, the 2-person 1-year kit is the most popular. That seems to be the one that everybody likes. And I got to say, for the end result, you can't beat that. That's really, really good. I'm going to try a little piece right here. I happen to like the ends of bread, so. That came out so good. So before we end, I just want to show you, you're going to get a recipe book with the bread machine. That will show you how to make pretty much everything you need in there. You're going to get an instruction manual with the mill, okay? And you're going to get the user guide for the bread machine itself. Bread machine isn't difficult. Don't be intimidated by all the lights and stuff. It's really not that difficult. Like I showed you before, I have it here in the papers, you will get a way to program your machine to start off with. Okay, this is just a starting one here. And a basic bread recipe. You're going to start off with that to make one of those. Okay, I have a lot of bread to bake now. I can see that. Now, there are kits. You can buy the 1 year for 1 person, the 1 year for 2 people. That's their most popular one. The 1 year for 4 people, 1 year for 6 people, and 1 year of the recipe subscription. They'll send you new recipes all the time. They do have the machine package, which again will be the grinder, everything that you need for the machines. The bread slicer alone is separate. Okay. Now there is a new bread slicer you can pre-order. That's coming. Now, if you want just the wheat, okay. Let's say you got all this stuff at home and you just want to stock the wheat berries. They have some really competitive prices. The 3.5 gallon pail of the hard red wheat berries is $80, okay? The hard red wheat berries in the 6.6 gallon pail, which was the big one I showed you, the squat one, is $190. The hard red wheat berries in 3.5 is $80. So you're definitely getting your money's worth on the bread. I mean, this is, seriously, I probably have enough wheat here to make bread now for at least a year. I mean, no lie. And as you can tell, it comes out nice and easy. And I really, really like this. So I think you guys are going to like this if you've never experimented. And the cool part about this wheat is you can put it away forever. These wheat berries last a very, very long time. So you can put it away and you'll be ready to go. Just make sure to stock up extra on the other ingredients you'll need for whatever you're making. And you should have nice, fresh, hot bread. Gotta say, that's pretty darn amazing. Just 2 hours and 20 minutes later, and here we are. Anyway, folks, the links for this will be down below if you're interested, okay? I'll have a link to the website. From the website, you can choose where you want to go. I'm not going to link to any particular package because that's really up to you guys and what you want to purchase. Below that, we will have our Amazon affiliate store. If you're interested in buying anything else that you see on the channel, you can check there. Underneath that's our freeze-dried wholesaler link. If you are interested in getting a 15% discount on any freeze-dried storage food that you want, use my link. That's all you got to do. No codes, no nothing. Click the link, shop as you normally would, and you'll save 15% at checkout. Underneath that, our My Patriot Supply link, preparewithiridium.com. We got a lot of good deals going there this month, so check it out. And our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store as well. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for watching through this. I hope you guys enjoy your bread packages. If you do decide to pick some up, stay safe and stay prepared.